Hey guys, it's Owen from Wrestling Inc. back with another wrestling news roundup. Without any further ado, let's get into today's biggest stories in the world of professional wrestling. Backstage news on AEW's approach to MJF Storyline. AEW is reportedly playing the long game with regards to the ongoing MJF storyline. According to Dave Meltzer in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, AEW is willing to forego short-term financial gains evidenced by the fact they pulled all MJF merchandise from their website in order to achieve a long-term payoff with the storyline. Meltzer added that AEW wants, quote, people to think he's gone, end quote, which would explain why the announcers no longer mention him on TV, and AEW's social media and YouTube channels have stopped posting all MJF-related content. Furthermore, AEW asking Warner Bros. Discovery to pull MJF from promotional spots and commercials for AEW programming, unfollowing MJF on Twitter, and removing his profile page from their websites are all strategic moves designed to make people believe he's done with the company. While there is some speculation that MJF has signed a contract extension, propelling Tony Khan to go through with the ongoing storyline, Meltzer emphasized that, quote, nobody knows and nobody will know, end quote, exactly what MJF and Khan discussed during their meeting after Double or Nothing earlier this month. Meltzer said he expects MJF to eventually return to AEW TV, quote, out of the blue with no warning, end quote. As of this recording, the only certainty is that MJF is under contract with AEW until January 1st, 2024. On a related note, Meltzer added that, quote, it was very clear, end quote, MJF and his crew leaked the rumor of his booked flight out of Las Vegas the night before Double or Nothing, which created a stir and led many to believe that MJF would no-show his match against Wardlow. Quote, we can't say outright that AEW wanted it out, but one would think that both sides were working together and they did, Meltzer wrote. If AEW didn't want it out, they're not pulling the YouTube preview the day before for the attention, so this was really quite deeply thought out. While the rumor was intended to garner attention and boost pay-per-view numbers, Meltzer added that the early estimates of the Double or Nothing buys don't indicate a number much different from the projections prior to the controversy. Brandi Rhodes provides update on Cody Rhodes surgery. Cody Rhodes is officially on the road to recovery. Brandi Rhodes provided an update on her husband's surgery via Twitter on Thursday. Quote, the doctor just repaired Cody's pectoral tendon, which was torn completely off the bone. Successful surgery. He is on the road to recovery now. An earlier report noted that Rhodes underwent surgery in Birmingham, Alabama, and the surgery was handled by the renowned Dr. James Andrews, who has been the go-to surgeon for several wrestlers over the years. Rhodes initially suffered a slight tear of his right pectoral muscle while brawling with Seth Rollins on the final Raw before last Sunday's Hell in a Cell Premium Live event. However, he would suffer a full tear of the muscle while attempting to do weight training a few days later, which led to uncertainty over his availability for Hell in a Cell. Rhodes, with a noticeable bruise on his arm and chest, gutted out the injury regardless and wrestled Rollins, securing his third consecutive victory over Rollins dating back to WrestleMania 38. While Rhodes is expected to be on the shelf for 3 to 5 months, the American Nightmare floated the possibility of making a miraculous quick recovery earlier this week on Raw, just so he could retrieve the Money in the Bank briefcase at WWE's next Premium Live event. However, any chances of his imminent return ended when Rollins blindsided Rhodes with a sledgehammer after praising his rival's courageous performance on Sunday. The angle was done to seemingly write Rhodes off WWE TV while he recovers. Adam Cole reportedly dealing with multiple injuries. Adam Cole hasn't wrestled a match since defeating Samoa Joe at the Double or Nothing pay-per-view, and all signs point to the inaugural winner of the Owen remaining on the shelf for a little longer. According to Fightful Select, Cole has been, quote, banged up for quite a while, and the word is that he's been battling a series of injuries for longer than most realize. Cole has reportedly been dealing with a labrum injury as far back as his AEW World Title program with Hangman Page, and worked through the injury per sources close to Fightful. The report added that Cole's labrum was actually torn during his rivalry with Page, though he has not been confirmed by AEW nor Cole himself. There's still no word on whether Cole will be forced to miss any time or if he'll be rehabbing the injury. The leader of the Undisputed Elite was on commentary during this week's Dynamite for the Hangman Page vs David Finlay match, following which he challenged IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Okada to a match at the upcoming Forbidden Door pay-per-view. The segment began with Page also issuing a challenge to Okada for the title at the June 26 event. Okada, meanwhile, will defend his title against Jay White at the New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion event this Sunday. Cole is expected to compete at Forbidden Door. An earlier report from PW Insider noted that Cole is being kept out of in-ring action so he could rest up and be healthy enough for the AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling Crossover event in Chicago, Illinois. Alexa Bliss seemingly throws shade at top AEW star. Alexa Bliss apparently has no idea who Jade Cargill is, or at least claims to have never heard about AEW's TBS champion. Bliss seemed to throw shade at Cargill following the latter's Twitter exchange with Athena on Thursday. It all started when Cargill made a snide remark while commenting on a selfie posted by Athena, making a reference to NXT Women's Champion Mandy Rose in the process. Quote, "You ask me, you look rather Mandy-ish. I thought you weren't trying to be sexy. Got close to a real goddess and you seem to have switched it up. But you guys want this woman to take my spot? Bitch, get out of here." In response, Athena pointed out how Cargill is more similar to Mandy than she realizes. Quote, "That's real rich coming from someone who's also a buff blonde. Mandy and Charlotte are already taken. Move on, hussy. I hope you keep that same energy next time I see you. #AndNew, #FallenGoddess." Bliss then chimed in on behalf of her bestie, Athena, who was one of her bridesmaids at her wedding back in April. Quote, "I'd love to get mad at someone who's coming after my bestie, but I'm still trying to figure out who the heck they even are." Cargill referencing Mandy was a callback to Athena's comments from an earlier interview where the former Ember Moon disclosed that several female wrestlers in WWE were told to dress like the leader of Toxic Attraction during talent meetings. Tony Khan reveals many stars are returning to AEW TV soon. While reacting to the news of AEW Dynamite finishing as Wednesday's #1 show in key demographic for cable originals, AEW President Tony Khan has prepared viewers to expect several surprises in the coming weeks. Quote, "Thank you to everyone, fans at home, KC fans, staff and wrestlers who made AEW Dynamite Wednesday's #1 show on cable/satellite. I'm excited. Many stars will return to AEW in the weeks ahead, and glad to be back to our classic Friday night AEW Rampage time slot tomorrow." AEW wrestlers who are presently out of action due to injury include AEW World Champion CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole, Kenny Omega, Sting, Orange Cassidy, Anthony Bowens, Layla Hirsch, Jake Atlas, Darius Martin, and Kip Sabian. Others who are dealing with nagging injuries include TNT Champion Scorpio Sky and Jeff Hardy. While Sky suffered a strained leg muscle at the Double or Nothing pay-per-view, Jeff, quote, "was almost knocked out during the Hardys vs. the Young Bucks bout at the same event," according to his brother Matt Hardy. Subsequently, Jeff Hardy was pulled from a scheduled match on Dynamite, and his injury was later confirmed by both Tony Khan and Matt Hardy. So what are your thoughts on today's Wrestling News Roundup? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to like and subscribe to Wrestling Inc., and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.